Roger von Oech, A Whack on the Side of the Head, How You Can Be More Creative. In The Whack on the Side of the Head, author Roger von Oech introduces the concept of mental locks that prevent us from thinking creatively. Our education system and a lifetime of following rules can hinder our ability to explore new possibilities. This summary delves into soft and hard thinking approaches, the power of ambiguity, and learning through trial and error. Expect to learn how to break free from conventional thinking, develop a creative attitude, and use what-if questions and stepping stones to generate unique ideas. Embrace the role of the fool and allow your creativity to flow as you read this summary.
Unleashing Creativity. The book emphasizes on the importance of unlocking the mental locks that hinder creativity. It suggests that crazy, foolish, and impractical ideas pave the way for practical ideas. The educational system we follow doesn't teach us to be creative. The standard norms and attitudes that help us in daily routines can be detrimental to creativity. The book identifies 10 mental locks that restrain our thinking process. Breaking the rules and searching for ideas in unusual places can help you cultivate creativity. The book motivates you to become aware of these locks and then forget about them while generating ideas. It suggests that errors are a sign of diverging from routine paths that can often lead to new discoveries. The book also suggests that a sudden change in routine can help overcome mental blocks and unlock new ideas. Breaking free from the one right answer mentality. The idea that there is only one right answer can be limiting in life. With over 2,600 tests taken by the average college graduate, this belief can be deeply ingrained. Yet, it is important to recognize that there can be multiple right answers, some better than others. The danger of seeking the one right answer is that it can trap you and limit your options. In order to be more flexible and successful, we must develop the ability to unlearn what we know and consider multiple solutions to our problems. Soft versus hard thinking. The book explores the importance of soft and hard thinking in the idea development process. Soft thinking is crucial during the imaginative phase, while hard thinking is necessary during the practical phase. Soft thinking is metaphorical and playful, while hard thinking is logical and precise. Over-reliance on logic can prematurely narrow your thinking and prevent you from having valuable intuitive hunches. Both types of thinking are essential and should be used during different stages of the idea development process. Creative thinking, breaking rules. Creative thinking involves challenging the rules, taking on the role of a revolutionary to break out of old patterns and generate fresh ideas. The pressure to follow rules is ingrained in people, but it can be a mental barrier to creativity. It is essential to challenge rules to avoid getting locked into one strategy, which may not be appropriate. Like in sports, breaking rules can lead to positive change. It is crucial not to be afraid of killing sacred cows, even when they have been successful. Challenging rules is an effective way of thinking creatively and generating new ideas. Creative problem-solving techniques. Learn how what-if questions and stepping stones can lead to practical ideas and help you overcome negative bias while developing more creative solutions. Do you feel stuck in your problem-solving process? Are you struggling to come up with new and innovative solutions? The book at hand suggests asking yourself some what-if questions and utilizing stepping stones to bridge the gap between your thinking and the solution you need. Start by asking yourself what-if questions to get yourself thinking along different lines. For example, what if someone else had to solve the problem you are facing? How would Winston Churchill, Beethoven, or a 7-year-old girl approach the problem? This exercise aims to expand our thinking beyond our usual patterns and limitations by considering alternative perspectives. However, these questions may not necessarily lead to practical, creative ideas. That's where stepping stones come in. They allow you to explore ideas that may be unfeasible or unrealistic in themselves but are meant to lead your thinking in different directions. One example is an engineer at a chemical company who asked what would happen if they added gunpowder to their house paint. Although his idea was impractical, it led his colleagues to consider other additives that could be used. This company ended up selling a new type of paint a few years later. It's important to remember that during the imaginative phase, the constraints of logic and practicality do not apply. Impractical ideas can even lead to practical ones. To counteract a natural negative bias, focus on the positive, and ask many what-if questions and follow many stepping stones. By doing so, you can train your brain to think more creatively and develop new and innovative solutions to problems. The power of play. Don't underestimate the benefits of play. Contrary to popular belief, work and play are not mutually exclusive. Taking a break from a problem can instigate creative thinking that wouldn't be possible through constant problem solving. Seed planting by putting the issue on the mental back burner can allow for the growth of new and better ideas. And sometimes, a dose of ambiguity can launch the mind into high gear. By denying oneself the opportunity to play with ideas, individuals are denying themselves the opportunity to think outside the box and come up with new solutions. Diversify your sources. Explore new fields and sources for original ideas and problem solving. To avoid the dangerous, "that's not my area" mentality that specialization can bring, the author suggests seeking inspiration and ideas from fields outside our own. Many groundbreaking advancements in art, business, education, and politics have been made possible by cross-pollinating ideas between fields. A curious explorer mindset is key, and sources of inspiration can be found everywhere, from hardware stores and libraries to garbage dumps and the wilderness. To be truly original in problem solving, take inspiration from a diverse range of sources. As Thomas Edison said, keep on the lookout for novel and interesting ideas that others have used successfully. The power of being a fool. The fear of appearing foolish leads to conformity and stifles creativity. To break free, one can consult a fool or embrace their own foolishness. By temporarily adopting a new perspective, one can escape mental blocks, take creative risks, and find better solutions. The power of ambiguity. An ambiguous attitude can boost creativity by stimulating imagination, as ambiguity makes people ask how things could be interpreted differently. Avoiding ambiguity is an excellent rule when drawing up a contract, but not when it comes to creative thinking. To boost creativity, one should put themselves in situations where they can use their creativity and come up with new ideas. The article also gives an exercise of crossing out 6 letters to get a 10-letter English word without rearranging them to illustrate the concept of ambiguity. By interpreting the instructions ambiguously, one can find creative solutions to problems that may not have been thought of otherwise. In conclusion, a small amount of ambiguity can help to whack your thinking into high gear and aid problem solving. Embracing mistakes. Society tends to demonize errors, but the fear of making mistakes can stifle creativity and hinder progress. The most significant discoveries in history have arisen from failed ideas rather than success. The notion that to err is wrong may be misguided, and one should acknowledge mistakes instead of denying or hiding them. They can serve as indicators for a needed change in direction, and we can learn from them. The aftermath of the tragic oil spills and accidents has forced industries to ramp up safety measures, resulting in greater precautionary measures. The International Ice Patrol arose from the Titanic disaster, showing that missteps can lead to valuable corrections. Unlocking creativity. Believing that you are not creative can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. By developing a creative attitude and taking risks, one can unlock their creativity. Avoid mental locks and try new approaches to unleash your creative potential.
As we conclude our exploration of A Whack on the Side of the Head, it's clear that challenging mental locks can unleash our creative potential. To think creatively, we must discard conventional thinking, embrace the unknown, and accept that errors are learning opportunities. Utilize both soft and hard thinking in different phases of the problem-solving process and realize that the path to creativity often involves stepping stones and impractical ideas that can eventually lead to practical solutions. Discover the power of play, allow yourself to be foolish, and venture into other fields for inspiration. By doing so, you'll break free from conformity and embark on a journey to greater creativity.